Bring our palms together at the heart space. Take a deep breath in and exhale through the mouth. Let it go. And move back to your breath in and out through the nose as we interlace fingers and press the palms forward, reaching toward the center of our virtual circle. Stretching through the wrists, the forearms, the palms, the knuckles, extending the arms and separating the shoulder blades, breathing into the back of the lungs. On an inhale, arms stretching all the way overhead, reaching tall. Stretch up a little taller, maybe invite a subtle sway from side to side as you create even more space between the rib cage and the pelvis. And take the right hand to the mat, stretch the left arm up and over, give it a little circle, little movement in that left arm. And circle the left arm down across the body into the other side. And we'll circle that right arm, opening up the right side of the body. Breathing deeply here, continuing to extend the opposite knee to the earth as you reach up and over. And let's just start to flow back and forth now. Inhaling up and over and exhaling as you stretch, reaching long. And inhaling both arms overhead. Exhaling, hands interlaced behind the head. Take a deep breath and open the elbows wide. Exhale to curl the elbows towards each other, drawing chin towards chest. Taking a few breaths here, opening on the inhale, curling on the exhale. Nice, easy movement, accessing shoulders and neck with curiosity and compassion. Go ahead and exhale to curl inward, draw elbows together, chin to chest gently, rest the hands on the back of the head, and focus your attention at the back of the neck, breathing deeply into that space. And rest the arm bones to your lap. You start to roll the head gently from side to side. Relaxing the jaw, the tongue, the eyeballs, the forehead, the scalp, elbows and wrists heavy into your lap as we roll the head gently from side to side. And let's roll the right ear towards the right shoulder and just let it dangle there for a few breaths. Right ear dropping. Just head tilting to the right. Opening up the left side of the neck, we might take the right hand and nudge that left shoulder downward. We might use the hand on the left side of the neck, giving that trapezius muscle a little massage, a little attention. And we can take the right hand across the top of the head and just let it rest and continue to use the gentle weight of the hand on the head to access the left side of the neck. And rotating chin towards armpit. The hand rotates to the back of the skull. We continue to open the side of the neck. Resting the hand heavy on the head, relaxing the skull to gravity. Breathing deeply into the left side of the neck. Resting the chin back towards the chest, the arms in your lap. Pause here for a moment. It neutral in the neck and start to lift the crown of the head very slowly. Start to lift the chin very slowly. No strain in the neck, just a gentle stretch. Lifting chin on the in-breath and gently dropping chin on the out-breath. Slowly up and down on this midline vertical axis. Just noticing sensations in the neck. Resting chin towards chest, interlace hands behind the back. Give those shoulders an encouragement downward away from the earlobes. Lengthen here. Continuing to breathe deeply in and out through the nose. Releasing the hands to your lap again, rolling head from side to side. We'll come back to that pendulum motion, check in, see how things are feeling. Maybe we're ready to roll into the back space here. And let's roll the left ear towards the left shoulder. We'll even out, working on the right side of the neck now. Left ear dropping. The left hand can support the nudging of that right shoulder downward, away from the crown of the head. Using the left hand on the trapezius muscle, maybe giving it a little extra massage, a little piano finger, a little squeeze, a little pressure, a little acupressure, whatever feels intuitively right for you. Taking that left hand across the top of the head and continuing to open the right side of the neck. Head falling, hand falling. Breathing deeply. Occupying the right side of the neck with your attention and breath. Resting chin towards armpit, hand rotates towards the back of the skull, repurchasing towards the occipital ridge, and continuing to breathe here. And releasing the chin, dropping back down towards the chest, the arms to your lap. Again, I'll invite you to slowly lift the chin straight up And gently release the chin back downward, taking that once or twice more. And chin returning to chest. We'll roll the head one more time like a pendulum or around in a circle, allowing the weight of the cranium to fall even more heavily with each exhale. Heavy skull. Relax the shoulders. Allow for whatever is feeling most satisfying as you surrender the weight of the cranium to gravity. Reversing and evening things out. Once again, we'll complete with the chin dropping towards the chest, and then we'll lift the crown of the head slowly. And with your next inhale, we'll stretch the arms out to the side, reaching wide as possible. Open up the fingers, flutter your feather tips, squeeze those shoulder blades together, lift the heart a little higher. Notice the legs, the pelvis, the knees, the ankles. Make adjustments to find even more neutrality there. Breathing deeply, spreading your wings, extending open. One more big breath here. Exhaling, we're going to simply rest the arms in our lap and just pause, allowing the weight of the arms to fall, feeling the surrender in the shoulders and the upper back, breathing and observing, noticing sensations in the body. We'll make our way into some cat-cow motion. You might like to start seated, and at any point that you desire, feel free to transition onto your hands and knees. Inhaling, the heart moves forward. Exhaling, the heart flows back. Moving with the breath, allowing the spine to naturally respond to the movement at the heart space. Morning, John. Welcome. Beginning some cat-cows. And so we're inviting a little bit more attention to the way that we're working with the neck here, especially if you're on your knees. So I'm going to move on to my knees to remind you. I think most of you have heard my little adjustment already, but what I'm inviting here in your cow position is that instead of lifting your head, let your head drop to gravity and lift your gaze towards the front of your mat. So you're reaching with your eyeballs forward, but the head is actually falling. That's the cow pose. And of course, on the cat pose, we're just letting the head fall even more as we focus on separating the shoulder blades. As you let the neck and the skull drop in cow, you will find more access to articulation in the shoulder blades. If you let the head fall more, the shoulder blades will be able to lift more. Moving back and forth, flowing with your breath, working with that cat-cow motion in a way that feels most satisfying for you in your body, in this breath, in this moment. So we'll continue to work with cat-cow just a little bit longer and allow for any variations in the pose that feel good to you. You might like to add the extension of a leg on the in-breath and then curling that knee towards nose on the out-breath. You might prefer to stay in a standard cat-cow. You might choose to roll around in different ways in the spine, shoulders, and hips. You might choose to play with your balance in sunbird if you are extending a leg. And continuing to work from all fours to even yourself out. So working with the other leg if you're doing a tiger stretch and sunbird, exploration, or whatever is coming naturally for you. Following the map of your breath, we inhale to extend, we exhale to round. And finding your balance, evening things out. We're all going to meet up in a camel pose, Ustrasana. So bringing your hands to your hips, sitting on your palms or directing your tailbone down towards the knees. We're working with the lift of the heart, the drop of the shoulders. Breathing deeply here and encouraging the shoulders and the elbows to fall back and down, the heart space to rise up, the chin remains resting towards the notch at the base of the throat. Take another breath or two here, cultivating even more breath and therefore prana into the heart space. And when it feels complete for you, transitioning now, we'll make our way into a downward facing dog, stretching it out. Breathing deeply in whatever variation of a down dog or puppy pose that feels right to you. And we can move forward to a plank position or high push-up position. And then exhale, bending knees and elbows. Inhaling, moving through a cobra. The tops of the feet are to the earth. The fingers are spreading. We're pulling back on the exhale to a child pose where we surrender the skull, the elbows, the pelvis. On the inhale, we're coming up. Directing tailbone downward, finding our camel pose one more time. 3 big breaths here. When it feels right to you, coming up and over, making your way to your downward facing dog. Once again, spreading fingers. Pulling pelvis back. Using leg strength, knees are bent. Again, inhale to come forward to a plank position. Exhale, bending knees and elbows. Inhale, moving through a cobra, this time perhaps even an upward facing dog. Exhale, pull back to that child pose. Drop and rest for a full breath. With your next inhale, coming up slowly to your camel pose one last time, directing tailbone downward, elbows and shoulders back, heart high. Chin resting towards the notch at the base of the throat, back of the neck is open. One more giant breath here. With your next inhale, coming up and over, downward facing dog. Stretching it out here. Let's start to shift weight from one heel to the other. Starting to stretch into the hips. Let's consider now continuing to walk our dog into a three-legged dog, stretching one leg up on an in-breath and returning the foot to the mat on the out-breath. Inhaling to stretch the other leg up and away. Exhaling to replace the foot on the mat. One more time. Inhale, one leg stretches away. Exhale, returning to the mat. Inhale, the other leg stretches away. Exhale, returning to the mat. Let's move into a little flow to get the heart pumping. Inhale, the right leg stretches away. Exhale, we're going to swing the right foot forward on the mat. Turn the left heel down and inhale as we come to a warrior one position. On an exhale, we're going to open to warrior two, turning the left toes open. Inhale to reverse the right arm high and exhale back to your downward facing dog. Inhaling, the left leg extends to the sky. Exhaling, we swing the left foot through. Inhaling, we rise to warrior one. Exhaling, we open to warrior two. Inhale, we reverse. And exhale, we helicopter back to our downward dog. Inhale, right leg extends. Exhale, swinging through. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reversing. Exhale, back to downward dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, swinging through. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale as you reverse. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky. One more set. Exhale, swinging through. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale to reverse. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, swinging through. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale as you reverse. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a few more breaths in our down dog, walking it out, shifting weight from heel to heel and hip to hip. Walking your feet towards your hands at your own pace, stepping forward on the mat. Inhaling as you find a flat back position, extending long from crown to tail. Exhaling, release to a forward fold. Allow the knees to be soft here. Hang out in your Uttanasana for a few breaths. You can bend your knees a lot and rest your belly on your thighs, avoiding strain in the low back and encouraging opening and space there instead. Relax the arms to the gravity or even interlace them behind the back in a bind or other bind that might be even more satisfying for you. Activate the feet, wiggle the toes, stay connected to the earth with your feet. Drop the skull, engage the abdomen, check in with the arms and shoulders. Releasing and rounding up slowly. Let the spine articulate. Big toes are pressing, bending the knees. Arms and head are heavy, and we're just rolling up. Take a moment, roll out the shoulders, shake it out a little bit. Take a block if you happen to have one. If you have 2 blocks, you might want to set one block up on one end of your mat and the other block and the other end of the mat, just so you have them. Actually, keep them at the front of the mat. Never mind. Keep them forward. So we're going to start at the front of the mat. And we're going to take a block between our knees in the narrowest position. And we're going to bring our palms together at the heart space. We're going to look at our feet. We're going to arrange the toes forward, the heels back. Nice parallel feet. So we're going to warm up our hips and legs a little bit more with our Utkatasana twisting sequence. So we're going to start by simply pressing into the earth with our feet, squeezing the block, drawing the hips back, and extending the arms up to find Utkatasana. Need to move that a little bit. And then we're going to just come right back up to stand. So let's practice that twice more. Inhale, bend the knees deeply, reach to the stars, sink the hips back, squeeze the block, and then go ahead and stand tall as you exhale, pressing into the feet. One more time, inhale, squeeze the block, stretch the arms, sink the hips back, and then exhale, standing tall, palms to the heart space. Great. Now we're going to add the twist. Inhale, stretch the arms long, sink the hips back, squeeze the block. Exhale, palms together. We twist left elbow towards right knee. We come on back to Utkatasana, inhaling, and we stand tall as we exhale. Inhaling as we stretch back into Utkatasana, squeezing the block. Exhale to twist right elbow towards left knee. Inhale back to Utkatasana, and exhale to stand. Super duper. One more. This time, we're going to add an opening of the arms as an option in the twist. Stay with me. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, twist with palms together at the heart space. Stay here. Inhale, consider opening the arms away from each other. Left arm to the outside of the right leg in some way, shape, or form as a point of leverage. Bring the palms back here into prayer twist. Inhale to come back to Utkatasana, and exhale to stand tall. Let's try it to the left. Inhale, standing or sinking back into Utkatasana. Exhale, twisting, palms to the heart, right elbow to the left knee. Inhale, open the arms, stay twisted. Exhale, bring it back in. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, standing tall. Congratulations, shake it out. Whew. There's a thigh buster. All right. So now the blocks can just be to the front of the mat. We'll stand tall with our hands at our hips. We're going to activate into the right foot. We're going to start to lift the left knee. Now, maybe you're going to pop right into Vinyasa because that's comfortable for you. Maybe you're going to just hold the knee up. Yogi's choice. Standing on the right leg. When it feels correct for you, go ahead and step back, warrior one. Keep the left foot in its own lane. Push into the earth with your feet. Reach with equal energy through the arms. Let's allow the pelvis to soften here. Relax the pelvis. Soften the front of that left hip. On an exhale, activate the feet and find your humble warrior. Gazing to the right big toe as the arms swing down and back. Inhaling as we come back up. Warrior one. Exhaling, humble warrior. Inhaling, warrior one. Back leg is supercharged. Exhaling, humble warrior. Inhaling, warrior one. Let's bring the palms to the heart. Exhaling. Inhaling, warrior two. Press it open. Left toes are opening. Right knee is stacked. Gaze is past the right fingers. Inhaling, we're going to find our peaceful warrior, right arm high. And exhaling, we're going to lengthen the right leg and shift into Trikonasana. Inhaling, the right knee bends, the right arm reaches. We come on back, reversing the warrior, finding that peaceful warrior pose. Remember, in this transition, there's no need to bend the elbows. Arms are extended the whole time. Consider them your wings and recognize that if you bend your wings, you might lose flight. Inhaling to peaceful warrior, exhaling to Trikonasana. As things start to warm up and you feel a little bit more inclined to hang out in Trikonasana, do so. Exploring triangle pose for a little bit more time and breath. Opening up the right side body, the right hip crease, and the right armpit, extending nice long spaciousness there. Opening up from fingertip to fingertip. You may then also begin to guide yourself into Utthita Parshvottanasana, extended side angle. That is something that comes naturally for you. Swinging the left arm down and through. Left fingers as far away from the left heel as possible. And you might even swing back around into Trikonasana again, or press forward into Ardha Chandrasana, in which case it probably would have been good to have a block there at the other end of your mat, like I had originally said. So take your time here and play a little bit. Find some freedom in your flow. Take it anywhere and anyhow that feels satisfying to you, working mindfully, actively connecting to the earth, equal and opposite lines of energy. And we can find ourselves slowly making our way back towards warrior two and then around to a crescent lunge. So we'll face the right foot. Bring the left heel high, bring the left hip around. Think about lifting that left knee and inner thigh up away from the floor, dropping the tailbone and accessing the same energy through the arms that you're pressing and reaching through the legs. Beautiful poses, everybody. Take your time here. Maybe you're going to want to twist again. Maybe you're going to want to come into warrior three, airplane pose, whatever makes sense to you. Let yourself feel free to explore whatever poses are naturally occurring for you. We're going to land standing on the right foot again. Maybe we're going to hold the left knee or go back to Vriksasana pose. See if you can just get your balance back on the right foot. Whatever variation of balance makes sense to you. Fantastic. Checking in with your drishti. Equal and opposite lines of energy employed in the body. Breathing deeply in and out through the nose. Taking your time here, exploring your balance as long as it feels right to you, and when you're ready, releasing. And taking some time to just shake it out. Move the body. Wiggle it out, shake it out. Hydrate. We can make our way back to the front of the mat. Bring our hands to our hips. Activate especially strongly in the left foot as you shift off of the right foot. Maybe the tippy toes stay on the floor. Maybe you hold the knee. Maybe you pop right into Vinyasa for a moment. Whatever feels right to you. We're standing on the left leg. As you're ready, the right leg is going to reach back. We're landing in Warrior One. Right foot has its own lane. Supercharged back leg, arms extending long, armpits open. Deep breathing, exhaling to humble warrior. Exhaling palms to the heart space, inhaling open to Warrior Two. Establish that adjustment in the left knee over the left ankle, right toes opening, right side of the pelvis pulling back, right shoulder pulling back and down. And when it feels right to you, left arm reaches to the sky, peaceful warrior. And left leg lengthening as you exhale, shifting into Trikonasana. Inhaling, peaceful warrior. Exhaling, Trikonasana. Moving with the breath. Perhaps you'll start to feel the urge to hang out in triangle pose a little longer, exploring even more space between the left hip crease, the left armpit, fingertip to fingertip, crown to tail. Legs are long, feet are active. Trikonasana. Left hand towards left leg, right arm to the sky. And from here, the left knee can bend, right arm swings down and through. Utthita Parshvottanasana, extending the heart space open, away from the left hand, the gaze to the right elbow. Right fingers reaching as far away from the right heel as possible. And circling, making your way into any other poses that come naturally for you, returning to triangle or finding Ardha Chandrasana. Remembering equal and opposite lines of energy. If you're practicing half moon Ardha Chandrasana, remember that lifted foot needs to be strongly flexed. Returning carefully to a Warrior Two pose and ultimately into crescent lunge. We'll all meet up facing the left foot in crescent lunge. Right heel is coming up, right inner thigh and knee are lifting away from the floor. We're relaxing the pelvis and matching the energy of the legs with the energy of the arms. And we're enjoying this strong, stable crescent pose, working with any variations that come naturally. You might move into a twist. You might float forward into airplane pose. And ultimately, we all meet up standing on our left leg. We can find our balance on our left leg in whatever form makes sense to you here. Maybe returning to tree pose. Equal and opposite lines of energy, checking in with your drishti, your focal point. Remembering that if the eyes are wandering around the room, so shall your pose. And taking your time, exploring this balance, and when it feels complete for you, taking yourself once again into a little release, moving the body, shaking it out. Let's just take some steps side to side on our mat and let the arms swing and give ourselves the benefit of a really gentle spiral, nice, easy, gentle spiral motion. That's it. Nice and free. Beautiful. All right. So we can take ourselves a little into a nice wide stance in a straddle position sideways on the mat. We can open into 5-pointed star here and return to that open-hearted, active back, neutral pelvis position. Reach down to the outside edges of your feet. Lift up through the inner arches. Extend long through the arms and long through the legs. Long through the arms and long through the legs. Reaching with long arms. Just another breath or two here, reaching even further, digging even deeper into the earth with your feet, lifting the heart a little higher. When it feels right to you, we're softening into a forward fold. You can bring your hands to your hips, soften your knees, lengthen the spine forward in a flat back position. Maybe you'll want to hang out here for a breath or two, and then you'll slide down into a deeper exploration of this forward fold, using your hands on blocks or placing the skull on a block, working with this straddle forward fold, Upavista Konasana. Breathing deeply into the back side of the body. Wonderful. Stay with it. Keep activating your feet even more strongly into the earth. Breathing even more fully in and out through the nose and activating the abdomen, belly button to the spine with each exhale. Consider bending one knee, just one knee, letting the other leg stay long and allowing one knee to bend, supporting yourself with your hands or on blocks or on the floor. We can start to just open the one side of the, the inside of the long leg. And we can shift it to the other side and take some time breathing here, accessing the inside of the long leg on the other side. Hands are on blocks or some support that feels stable for you, so you don't feel like you're straining. And just consider now playing a little bit longer, shifting from side to side. Another alternative here would be to have your hands on a block right under the heart and rotate, or alternate, I should say, taking one hand to the sky and keeping the other one on the block. So we can take a little twisting action in our straddle. And remember that we want to be twisting a long spine. So Sue, think about reaching the crown of your head even further away from the tailbone. Yes. Now twist that nice long spine. Yeah, think about heart high, and crown of the head along with the same line as the heart. That's better. Beautiful. So we're going to make our way now very slowly toward a squat position. So you can bring in some blocks to place under the, between the legs, right, just slightly behind you. Toe heel your feet closer together and lower the pelvis onto your prop for a supported prayer squat. This pose can be done just seated on the edge of a chair, opening the knees and inviting the knees and the ankles to be aligned. That's key here. Knees over ankles, feet flat, pelvis supported, elbows to inside of knees. Relax the groins as best you can. Relax the shoulders away from the heart. Start to lift from the crown of the head and open the back of the neck. Breathing deeply in and out through the nose. So think about all the intentions of creating length and space in your spine. Maintain that space between the rib cage and the pelvis. Consider opening right arm to the sky while left elbow stays to the inside of the left knee. Lift the heart space as you rotate gently towards the right. The gaze might even turn towards the right hand, but honor your neck. Relax the pelvis. Notice, where are you holding in the groins here? Can you relax the pelvis even more and lift the heart? Breathing deeply in and out through the nose. Let's bring it back to center and take it to the other side. Relaxing the groins, opening across the shoulders, lifting the heart. Relax from the waist down. Breathing deeply. And coming back to center. So please feel free to flow here in any way, shape, or form that you are inclined to do so. You might feel the urge to place your hands on the mat and pop into Bakasana, crow pose. Ultimately, we're going to land with the soles of the feet touching each other, seated on the mat in Baddha Konasana. So please take your time now transitioning into a seated position with the soles of the feet together in Baddha Konasana. You might take your time playing with Bakasana if that's something you're comfortable practicing. With Baddha Konasana, you may find it very helpful to keep the pelvis propped with a little blanket. And we're going to take the torso forward now, soles of the feet touching, extending the spine, maybe grabbing a block to collect the forehead or stacking fists to collect the forehead, maybe a bolster, allowing for the leg bones to fall open here and the torso to fall forward. Breathing deeply. Inviting the fullness of your breath directly into the pelvic bowl. I will remind you that the position of your feet away from your body will give you more access to the flexion and flexibility in your hips and low back. Ideally, we are flexing at the hips and shifting the tailbone back to encourage the skull forward. Take a little bit more time here, dropping to gravity, breathing even more fully, in and out through the nose. Taking just a couple more breaths here. And we're going to make our way now into, see here. Let's take a brief prelude before moving on to our backs with Janu Shirsasana. So we're going to extend the right leg long. We're going to bend the left knee in. And we're going to, again, extend forward over the leg. This time a long right leg. The left hand is reaching towards the right toes or even towards the outside of the right leg. And we're letting that left knee fall heavily. We're breathing deeply now, accessing the back of the body. Left knee is heavy, right leg is reaching, toes are flexing. Just another breath or two. Active abdomen. Slowly transitioning. Let's stretch the left leg long and bend the right knee in. Inhale the arms overhead and exhale to stretch forward. Janu Shirsasana. Reaching over a long left leg. Inhaling to come up slowly. We'll stretch both legs long, Paschimottanasana. Inhale the arms overhead, flex the toes. Exhale, stretching forward. Taking 5 deep breaths here. Long legs, toes high, belly button towards the spine with each exhale. Inhaling to come up slowly. Yogi's choice now. We're going to make our way into pigeon or ankle to knee. So if you're inclined to practice pigeon, start by bending your right knee, stretching, bringing yourself forward on the mat and stretching your left leg behind you for pigeon. If you're inclined to be on your back, go ahead and transition there for ankle to knee. So right knee is bending now, accessing the right hip, moving into pigeon or ankle to knee. If you're working with pigeon, I'm going to remind you how important it is to take advantage of all of our props, filling space under the abdomen, maybe under that right hip, maybe even under the left side of the body. That left leg is long and extended behind you with the knee to the earth. If it doesn't work for you to practice pigeon, you can always be on your back with right ankle to left knee, or of course, honoring your body wisdom in whatever way feels right to you. Breathing deeply into that right hip. Exploring surrender. Keep asking yourself where you're holding on without unnecessary tension. Where is the body still holding itself together? And how can you relax a little bit more, allowing Mother Earth to hold you in this moment? Deep oceanic breathing. So listening to your body wisdom here, if you're on your back, you might now transition to cross the right knee over the left and move into a twist. If you're still in pigeon, you might take your left arm underneath towards the right side of your body, dropping the left shoulder and twisting towards the right knee. Breathing deeply, staying present, compassionate, and curious in this moment, in this body, in this breath. Taking your time, listening to your own body wisdom. And when it feels complete for you, very slowly transitioning, making your way at your own pace back to something that feels neutral and into the left hip at your own pace. Breathing deeply here. So now you'll be moving into pigeon on the left side or working on your back with ankle to knee, left ankle to right knee. Pigeon with props or ankle to knee. Working to support surrender in the body. Remembering that the pelvis will continue to hold muscular tension as long as the rest of the body is holding muscular tension. And so we need to relax the shoulders, the tongue, the scalp, the forehead, the fingers, the wrists, the neck, the back leg heavy to the earth, relaxing even more with each exhale, avoiding unnecessary holding in the body. Breathing deeply in and out through the nose. Continuing to rest here in the map of your breath a little longer. Continuing to listen to your own body's messages. Perhaps you're feeling ready to transition towards a twist. Perhaps you're going to remain focused fully on that left hip a little longer. The left knee might cross the right to move into a twist. The right arm, if you're in pigeon, might cross underneath you to twist towards that left knee. Working for a little bit longer in this hip access, honoring the left hip, breathing ever more deeply in and out through the nose. Exploring surrender in the left hip. And we can slowly transition once again, making your way back to a neutral position, listening to your body wisdom. and assessing what it is that your body is craving in this moment. Maybe you're craving an inversion. Maybe you're craving a child pose or a happy baby or a windshield wiper motion. Let your body take itself into another pose of its choice. Releasing here. Ultimately, we're going to find our way toward that windshield wiper motion to make sure that we have released all angles of the hips, the front, side, and back. So our windshield wiper motion is most effective at checking in, giving a little bit more time for the release of the hip flexors and the quadriceps. And giving yourself permission to slowly transition, breath by breath, toward Shavasana, honoring whatever it is that the body is calling for, and choosing a position for your skeleton in Shavasana where the bones will be supported and the muscles will be invited to melt. Resting now in this 0 point state of pure potential. Welcoming yourself into infinite possibility. maintaining an inward focus. Start to breathe even more deeply, inviting a little reanimation back to fingers and toes at your own pace. As you gather your bones and slowly roll toward a seated position, we can bring our palms together in Anjali Mudra. Rest the chin towards the chest. And take another breath into the back of the neck. May the long-time sun shine upon you. May all love surround you. And may the pure light within guide you all the way on. Namaste. Thank you, ladies, so very much for being here now. Have a